Hoobs Tula and a whoop whoop whoop.
What you doing?
I'm staring at my hoobie paws.
Why?
Why? Well, I need to be absolutely sure what my hoobie paws look like because I'm going to draw a picture of them on this so that if you and Ivor are both out of the Hoobmobile, I can do a hooble-doop whoop.
Good idea, Groove.
Hooble-doop hoops. And a whoop whoop whoop.
You know what? My favourite part of doing a hooble-doop is the...
Minute. All I've got is a hat and a...
No, still not quite right.
Well, I don't know. How can Ivor be a giant?
Hubba. Tula, you've hit the question.
How can Ivor be a giant?
Yüksüz bu.
Hooble-dooble-doop, a question for Hoob News. I can put a giant section in. Oh, here we are. Take a look at this.
Tügüsüz.
Geoffrey was a grumpy giant. He lived in a tall tower block, and every day he stomped about the city centre, waving his club and shouting at the passers-by. I'm a scary giant, and here I come. But no one was the least bit scared of Geoffrey. Everyone just laughed.
That giant couldn't scare a mouse with his funny squeaky voice.
Geoffrey stomped out of the city feeling very upset. He wandered about the forest in the pouring rain and spent the night under a tree. The next morning, he found he had a sore throat and a streaming cold. Poor Geoffrey. He growled.
I'm a scary giant, and here I...
To his amazement, the cold had turned his voice all deep and rough. Keep away from that scary...
Giant! Huvudskåp och en doktor.
They grabbed their children and ran indoors. Geoffrey was delighted
Lighten it up! Depuis vos skriverier.
of him. Although
Huvudskåp och doktor.
I think they were more scared of catching his cold.
Puni, doktor nie ma. Nie ma światła włosy. O Jezu, to jest kuzes. Fammy!
Well, no, not really.
No, I need to make myself big. But how?
If the tiddly peeps are happy, do they go all clapping? Start the bus and off you go. The tiddly peeps are sure.
Nawet nie wiesz, jak wiele z nas dotyka nietrzymania.
Hello, Ivor.
Hi, tiddly peeps. Do you want to do a hoobie hello with me?
Yes.
Hooble-doo. Hooble-doo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's your name?
My name's Oslin. My name's Alex.
Well, Alex and Oslin, we've been travelling around in a Hoobmobile trying to find some tiddly peeps who are clapping. I'm really glad that I found you two. You were clapping when I saw you, weren't you?
Yes, we're playing a clapping game.
Clapping game? Really? Oh, hoobie-galooby. So, how does it work then, this clapping game?
I'll show you, Ivor. We clap our tail rhythm like this.
I'm going back to the bus now to make some clapping music with Groove and Tula. Thanks, Tiddly Peeps. Hooble Toodle Doo.
Hooble toodle doo.
How about that then, eh? Tilly Peeps do clap.
Why?
Oh, anyway, here's Roma. Perhaps she's had a better idea.
Hobble doop hoobs.
Hooble Doop, Roma.
Hubba Hubba tells me you're trying to find out about giants. And guess what? I found one.
Hello, Hoobs.
Hoobie Galooby.
Isn't he hoobacious? And absolutely enormous too.
Is he a real giant, Roma?
I thought there were only giants in stories.
Well, actually, Hoobs, I have to confess, it's really just a peep, dressed up as a giant.
Oh, so he's not really enormous. Ask him how he manages to make himself look so big, Roma.
I'm just about to, Ivor. So, Mr. Big Peep, how do you manage to make yourself look so big?
I'm wearing stilts, Roma.
Stilts. That's what you need, Ivor.
Stilts?
I'll order some right away.
I say, would you mind if I took a bit of a closer look before?
Oh.
You see, his legs stop me. Hooble toodle doo.
Hooble Toodle Doo. I'm not sure that stilts are the
Oh, they...
basis. But where?
Here, in the Hoobie studio, that's where.
How do Hoobs find out if something works? We test it out. Test it, test it, test it, test it, test it, test it.
Oh, test it.
Test it out.
You gotta test.
You gotta test it out. If you wanna find out what it's all about,
You gotta test it.
test it out. There. Oh, you look hoobly groobly.
Fuck her.
Hey, folk, groove, groove.
Yes, Ivor! That's a lot more gianty!
Hoobacious. Now Tula's made a giant's costume for me, but it didn't feel quite like a giant should be. But the stories told me what was wrong, and I'll tell you what, as I sing this song. Now I can stomp, I can crash, I can roam about, and I'm more like a giant cause I know what to shout. From the tips of my toes to the ends of my thumbs. Even my tum is a giant's tum. I'm every other giant's favourite chum, cause I know what to say. 3-5-0-thumb.
Well, something's still not right, though your voice is gruff. You know you still don't seem quite giant enough.
Well, I'm not convinced. You can shout all day. It doesn't really seem to matter what you say.
You can be.
But a giant's just something that you still won't be.
Oh, fo, fee, fum, fi. I'll never be a giant as hard as I try. Fi, fum, fee, fo. I know what to shout, but even so, giantness, it just won't come, no matter what I say. Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Oh, Kirby Baller.
I'm still not a proper giant.
Oh, does...
Oh dear. I think we're going to need another way for Ivor to look like a giant. Well, stilts will be much better. Come on, I'll help you.
Oh dear. Now, how are you getting lucky? Take a look. Oh, look, Hoobs, an elephant and a crocodile. Ha ha! But you see, they're not real. They're shadow puppets. You see, that light throws the shadow of the puppet onto the sheet in front.
Now it looks like a giant elephant shadow, and those clever puppeteers make them move around.
Well, hey, we can make Ivor into a shadow.
Oh, come on, Groove. We've got to find out how to make your thing beautiful in time for Hoob News.
But how? Do you know,
Come on, it's time for Hoob News. Groove, Groove, Groove. Into the Hooby studio.
Oh, Wincy, Wincy, Tootle climbed up the spout. Down came the rain and washed poor Tootle out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So Wincy, Wincy, Tootle climbed up the spout again. Ivor, Groove and Tula have all been watching rain. They didn't really like it, they thought it was a pain. But now they know just what it is and how and where and why. Groove is very happy, his seeds are wet, not dry. His seeds are wet, not dry.
Abba. Because he was scared of you.
it's about why.
Why, oh why? Why, oh why?
Abba. Come on, Groove. Let's get out of these bird costumes. Let's find some tiddly peeps.
Oh, I haven't finished eating my hoobie bun yet.
Ah! Hooble doop, tiddly peeps.
Hooble doop, Ivor.
Now, I hope you can help me. I've come to ask you about Tula's bird.
Oh, has Tula got a pet bird?
Well, he's not her pet exactly. He's been living in a tree on the roof garden.
Oh, right. Well, what about him?
Well, even though Groove and I have never heard him, Tula says he sings a lovely song, and we wanted to know why he's singing.
Maybe he's making an alarm sound. Some birds do that when they're frightened.
An alarm sound?
Yes, you know, like when you shout help to tell people nearby that you're in trouble. Or if I go,
Are you all right?
yes, I'm fine. But you see how a loud noise warns you that something could be wrong.
Get those little motorettes singing! Thank you so much for your help, tiddly peeps.
No problem, Ivor.
Hoople toodle doo.
Hooble toodle doo.
We gotta get back, we gotta make haste. No time to lose, no time to waste.
Gotta get the Hoobs on their merry, merry way.
Cause we gotta find an answer, yes, we gotta find an answer today.
Oh!
My little bird saw the Hoobmobile arrive and he flew straight.
News!
Ooh la la! Tula had a pretty little birdie.
Tula's birdie sang to her all day.
Why did Tula's bird go cheap?
Why did Tula's bird go cheap?
Bird go cheap?
Bird go cheap.
Cheapy cheap.
Shippy cheap. Oh!
Tula had a pretty little birdie. Tula's birdie sang to her all day. Tula's bird was also very happy.
That's why birdies sang to you all day.
That's why Tula's bird went cheap.
That's why Tula's bird went cheap.
Bird went cheap.
Bird went cheap.
Cheapy cheap.
Shippy cheap. Oh!
Tula's birdie was so very happy. That's why birdies sing to you all day. Sweet.
Abba.